Hey guys, it's Faye here, and today we are back with another Love and Deepspace video. And today we are doing the new Promise card, which is kind of like the battle pass of Love and Deepspace. So we are going to do Caleb's new Promise card. Hi Caleb! Midsummer's morning breeze slips through the open window and enters the living room, lifting the strands of hair on Caleb's forehead. He focuses on the toy gun in his hand. The silvery gray barrel regains its former sheen as he sands it down.
Pass me the small brush.
Oh, they're decorating little toys together. That's cute. I'm quite busy with mixing the paint. Would it be too much trouble for you to bend down and grab it yourself? Although I say those words, I rummage through the tool bag and
First off,
Wait, what did it say? Hold on, what did it say? You can't do that to me, we just started! Although I say those words, I rummage through the tool bag Caleb brought and hand him the brush. You can continue, Caleb. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It's your toy gun, and if you were better at hiding those sneaky glances, your excuse of being quite busy might hold water.
He is so cute, I can't. The little laugh.
Miss Busy Painter is engrossed in her work, right?
I'm focused on getting the paint just right. It's been a decade after all. It might take some time for me to remember. I'm pretty sure the gun stock was darker back then. I look at the freshly painted brown gun stock and feel like it doesn't match the one in my memory.
It's probably because the rubber is old, so the color's faded. It was darker before. You always complained it wasn't bright enough as a kid. Why not give it a new color while we're at it?
That's a great idea, Caleb.
Red, green, or bright yellow? It'll be very eye-catching.
Seeing Caleb's teasing eyes, I pick up the brush and move it around the palette, pretending to ponder. Then I quickly dab on some red, feigning a surprise attack, yet playfully poke Caleb's cheek with the brush handle. His laugh is so cute, I can't. Fine, on top of changing the color, I'll also decorate the gun with colorful flowers and plants. And I'll make sure to show it off to your team and tell them about the exquisite taste of their stern and cool boss, Colonel Caleb. Oh my god, the blackmailing.
Is this your idea of returning the favor?
I'm sprucing up your image as an amiable and friendly boss.
Really? Well, I appreciate the effort.
He's so cute. Don't mention it. Okay, the gun stock is ready. Here you go. I shove the refurbished gun stock into Caleb's hand, stretch, and start rummaging through a wooden crate nearby.
Find anything interesting this time?
I found you. Dolls, models, cards, and a flyer and contract from an insurance program. It's focused on 10 years in the future. Parties to the contract, Faye, Caleb. An insurance... Wait, did that say an insurance thing? Yeah, an Why would there... Caleb, did you sign up for life insurance? As I gently touch the aged paper bearing our signatures, I notice Caleb skillfully assembling the gun's parts out of the corner of my eye. Grandma was worried about our Oh, okay, it was Grandma. Okay, I was so confused for a second. Grandma was worried about our safety when she stored our toy guns. She never imagined that we would end up carrying real ones all the time.
We've come a long way from patrolling with paper guns in the shelter, ready to face the enemy. All set. Here you go, little sharpshooter.
I'm not gonna lie, I like little sharpshooter better than Pipsqueak. Like, don't get me wrong, Pipsqueak is kind of cute, like it's kind of growing on me, but I like little sharpshooter better. I take the revamped toy gun, aim it at the illustrated guide to wanderers on the shelf behind Caleb, and pull the trigger. A rubber bullet whizzes through the air and knocks the book off the shelf, but the gun doesn't reload. Puzzled, I fiddle with the cylinder. Is it jammed?
Sounds like it. Let me see.
Caleb dismantles the gun and removes the cylinder. Beneath the casing is a crack hidden in intricate design.
This kind of damage is irreversible. But there's a place that might help us.
Are we gonna go to a, toy repair shop? We sure, we're gonna go to a little vintage shop. Awesome. I follow Caleb into a vintage shop on the outskirts of the city. The shop is tucked away in the alley. Its walls covered in ivy serve as a natural veil that adds to its mystery. So this is what people mean by unassuming outside and magical inside.
Oh, you've got a keen eye, miss. All the junk here has its own story to tell.
As the shop owner prepares to deliver a long speech, I awkwardly give Caleb a wink.
Sir, can you take a look at this cylinder?
The shopkeeper confidently sets down his magnifying glass and retrieves a similar cylinder from the shelf behind him.
This toy gun is very old. The original cylinder for it isn't easy to find anymore, but I've got another cylinder of a different material that matches in size and pattern. I'll fit it after some tweaking. It's your lucky day.
I'll leave it in your capable hands then. While the shopkeeper works on the cylinder, I drag Caleb along to admire the shop's dazzling array of vintage parts and accessories. This revolver has an exquisite design, but it feels weird in my hand. It's not real, right?
Yep, these are all props. The shopkeeper's a Western film buff. He got these from various movie sets.
Oh, that's kind of cute. No wonder there's a sense of history here, and that vintage cowboy gun holster is rugged looking despite its intricate stitches.
Huh. You're right.
Out of the blue, I notice a proud twinkle in Caleb's gaze. It's as if the phrase, perfectly in sync, is written in his eyes. Aww.
Why hasn't that holster found a new owner after so many years? Too pricey?
It's made from the finest materials with handcrafted embroidery. Of course, it's not cheap.
Yeah, I kind of get that. Like, that stuff can be really expensive. After so many years?
Yep. I worked here for a whole summer once when I was in high school.
Wait, what? You had a job?
I wanted to keep him for a while longer since he's so efficient, but he left as soon as he got enough cash.
Caleb worked?
It's been a decade. You've changed, kid. Took me a while to recognize you today.
10 years. Didn't Caleb give me the toy gun around that time? And it has a vintage design. Why did you need to earn money from a place that's so far away? Grandma's allowance wasn't enough? Noticing my knowing, inquisitive look, Caleb smiles. He leans down to fasten the pricey gun holster around my waist.
Your toy gun wasn't gonna fall from the sky, Pipsqueak. I had to earn your gift with my own hands.
Wait a minute. He worked just to give us the things we wanted? Why does that make me kind of sad? After securing the holster, Caleb proceeds to pull out a movie poster that was on the same rack as the holster.
You know what movie this is?
Hunting Games? Isn't that my favorite Western from when I was in middle school?
Back then, you always talked about wanting to be like the heroine in those westerns, delivering justice and all that.
Is this like... I don't know if this is how it is, but it'd be kind of funny if it is. Is this like a spoof? Is this like their version of like the Hunger Games pretty much? It sounds like it. So that's why you gave me the toy gun, and I... Seeing the revolver on the poster, a realization suddenly dawns on me. Astonished, I turn to look at the toy gun in the shopkeeper's hand. It's not movie merch, is it?
Actually, it's one of the spare prop guns from that movie set.
Touch. The toy gun seems to glow brightly at that moment. The toy gun seems to glow brightly at that moment. I excitedly pinch Caleb's cheek. Caleb, you know people are supposed to use their mouths to talk, right? Oh my god. Oh. Tap, 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 tap.
I know. That's why I said, with this gun, you'll be the Wild West's guardian. And you said, Caleb will be my knight who swears an oath to protect the guardian.
Aww.
You know how the shopkeeper exaggerates. Most of the stuff coming out of his mouth isn't even half true. I couldn't let you be misled.
Kid, why drag me into your stories? This gun's the real deal. Anyway, it's fixed now. Come and take it.
Thank you very much.
Seeing Caleb's honest expression, I slowly relax my grip.
Good thing I didn't say anything back then. Or else Gran would have taken away that toy and you would have only had it for a few days. I can already imagine how much you would have cried.
I wouldn't have. Well, maybe a few tears would have been shed.
Your toy gun is fixed. Ready to head out now?
I nod and start to turn around, and then a vintage cowboy hat in the corner catches my attention. Its pattern and color perfectly match the holster on my waist. Hold on a sec. I quickly walk over, grab the hat, and jog back to place it on Caleb's head. Oh, Cowboy Caleb!
Is this how you return the favor?
You bet. You got me a holster and I got you a hat, but it's more than just a gift. I stand on my tiptoes and mimic Caleb's tone from earlier. I pull down the brim of his hat. With this, you're the Guardian's Knight. Together, we'll uphold justice in this Wild West. Will you join me? Softly chuckling, Caleb lowers his gaze, places his right hand on his left shoulder, and solemnly kneels to salute me.
The pleasure is all mine.
Okay. That's going into my saved lines. There we go. Oh my god, he's so cute. Look at him. After fixing the toy gun for half a day, Caleb and I decided to test our shooting skills against each other. At the suburban shooting range, Caleb and I are wearing protective goggles. Those are protective goggles! They don't look like it at all. Aim at the distant targets with our air rifles.
Hey, you're a sharpshooter, right? Ready for your shot?
Yes. I've been ready for a while. Our shots hit the bullseye almost simultaneously. At this rate, we might still be trying to outshoot each other by sundown.
Decisive and skillful. You've improved so quickly. Looks like you've got your own shooting style now.
You're not wrong. Let me tell you my first rule of shooting. Imagine the target as a wanderer and you'll never miss.
You sound quite confident. When you aced that first shot during the club event, did you imagine the target as a wanderer as well?
Caleb is referring to my first shot during his early college days. As soon as I heard their college shooting club was planning an event out on the shooting range, I immediately insisted on tagging along. Holding the air rifle, which felt real, I tried to appear calm as I took my shot, but actually, back then, there was no time for imagination. Dealing with the recoil was hard enough. That first shot must have been beginner's luck. Every attempt after that probably exposed my inexperience.
Your beginner's luck had Gideon and the others sneaking in extra practice for days. But it makes sense. After all.
After all, what? Caleb sets his air gun down and walks up behind me. He lifts my right wrist, his warm breath fanning the hair near my temple. Oh!
Back then, we'd use those toy guns to shoot apples that sat on cans. It was always difficult to tell who would win. Just like now. Someone who can't beat me definitely has their work cut out trying to outshoot you.
I need to listen to that again.
Someone who can't beat me definitely has their work cut out trying to outshoot you.
Still boastful as usual, I see.
I only do that when I'm with you. Look.
Oh, he is flirting way more in this card than he is in the other cards. Holy sh**. Caleb pauses and I turn. A subtle frown appears on his face as he stares at my goggles, his gaze showing he's somewhat distracted. What are you looking at? He shakes his head, plucks a leaf from my hair, and waves it before my eyes.
It's been a long day. How about I buy some smoothies from the concession stand? Though, you might have to wait a bit. There's usually a lot of people. Once you return the gear, wait for me at the entrance. I should be back by then.
Huh? Yeah, what's going on? Before I can say anything, Caleb shoves the goggles into my hand, pats my head, and turns to leave. As I watch him disappear into the distance, a sense of unease quietly rises in my heart. Oh no! A skinny man with dark circles under his eyes lurks behind the cabin at the shooting range. Nervous, he clutches a firearm. What's going on? Suspicious, he has a hidden earpiece in his right ear as he looks at the concession stand in the distance.
He should be buying smoothies at the stand. We'll be leaving soon.
He's being followed! Caleb's being followed! Oh,
Looking for me?
Oh, we're getting growly Caleb voice back. Okay, I thought that was only for the Tomorrow's Catch-22 event, but I guess it's not. Okay! Startled by the familiar voice behind him, the man quickly turns around and aims his gun at Caleb. He's using his evolve. I love this effect, by the way. I love this effect on the screen. It's one of my favorite ones. It's really cool. Caleb leans against the wall and dismissively flicks his fingers. Suddenly, the man's gun and earpiece fly out, hovering in midair. Ew! Oh! Uncontrollably, the man falls to his knees.
I see a fish has escaped the net. How brittle.
Oh my god, Caleb. That voice you're doing is, doing something. Okay. Caleb crushes the earpiece in his hand and turns. The suspended gun dissolves into dust that scatters and falls into the weeds. With bloodshot eyes, the man behind him musters up all his strength to lunge for the firearm at Caleb's waist. When the man takes the bait, Caleb instantly grabs his wrist and flings him backward. Tiny particles from the gun's grip burrows themselves into the man's fingers.
What? You're not gonna send your obedient monsters after me this time?
Oh, shit.
You escaped even after I spotted you. Think they'll still trust you when you return?
Oh.
Is there even a hiding place left for you?
Who is this guy he is talking to? Because he obviously knows him. Caleb stops looking at the trembling man behind him and picks up his gun and meticulously cleans it. A few minutes later, a command pops up on the communication device of Liam, the Far Space Fleet's adjutant. I'm gonna pause because I think this is gonna go away. Target was sighted in Lincoln and is headed to the second base. Follow the signal and prepare for pursuit. Oh, shit. This is getting intense for a 4-star card! The evening breeze in the forest dispels midsummer heat, but it can't dispel the unease in my heart. Okay, we're back to MC. Standing at the shooting range entrance with my backpack, I absent-mindedly scroll through my chat with Caleb that's on my phone. He still hasn't sent a message. Should I ask about it? Caleb left in a hurry and made a flimsy excuse. Never mind.
I kept you waiting, huh? Here, let me cool you off, Pipsqueak.
As a shadow falls over me, a cool sensation graces my still warm cheeks. I nearly said lips. I look up to see Caleb, who offers me a slightly melted smoothie as he relieves me of my backpack.
The sun's setting. Let's go home.
Gladly, let's go. I don't know what that was, but I hope you're okay. As Caleb takes my hand and leads me out of the shooting range, my gaze lands on the loosely fastened holster under his coat. She's gonna know. Aren't you going to explain yourself?
The smoothie kinda melted because of the heat. I'll run faster next time.
She's not talking about the smoothie. Caleb shows no signs of giving me a direct answer. I let go of his hand and grab a leaf from his head. How did you buy a smoothie when you were in the forest? She knows, you might as well tell her. Caleb just smiles and says nothing. Of course he didn't. I sigh, walk ahead of him while holding my smoothie and leave him trailing behind. Oh, she's mad. If you were a second late, I wouldn't have waited. It's evening when we return home. I quietly curl up on the sofa, absent-mindedly spinning the toy gun cylinder. The heavy curtains shield me from the sunset's prying eyes, wrapping my thoughts in the glow of a flickering projection. Hidden there are memories of the past. Flashback! Poison's uniform!
Steady your breathing. Align your gaze, the laser sight, and the target. They should all be at the same level.
Okay.
Now, feel the subtle sway of the muzzle. Steadily press the trigger with your index finger, applying even pressure.
Wow, you really are the best sharpshooter in the club, Caleb. It looks like Gideon's tutorial will be over soon.
What are you gonna get in exchange for being his photographer? 3? Like 3 shooting sessions with the club?
Exactly!
You're gonna sell me out that easily? Ask more from him next time.
My camera's still recording. The frame freezes on Caleb's smiling face as I switch off the projector. Silence returns to the room. Back then, his presence was a comforting warmth, but now, even though he's right here, it feels like he could slip away at any moment. The shower has already been turned off, but there's no sound from Caleb. I set down the toy gun and head toward the bathroom. Oh, is this the 4-star? Yeah, it is. Oh, he dressed like that, cleaning a gun? Caleb silently stands in front of the fogged mirror. I can't read. I'm being so distracted right now. He's cleaning the firearm he usually uses while his head is lowered. Droplets of water slide from his damp hair, tracing down his chest as it rises and falls. Why'd you have to describe it like that? Before disappearing into the towel wrapped around his waist. Hearing my approaching footsteps, Caleb quickly masks his solemn expression and looks up to meet my gaze in the mirror. I caught you lost in thought, Colonel. Are you sharing intel with your beloved gun? Maybe he senses what's on my mind. Caleb pretends to be serious as he looks at the gun in his hand.
Hey, buddy. You're not allowed to deceive her. You hear?
He's talking to the gun. Caleb's response prompts me to raise an eyebrow when I look at the gun reflected in the mirror. With that high-powered scope, you must have a great view. What kind of interesting things are out there in the woods?
Gun Senior says, I spy with my little scope a small mouse. It's not interesting.
Gun Senior! He named his gun Gun Senior! I love that so much! A mouse? Do you really need to get personally involved?
Gun Senior says, my bullets aren't cheap. I'm not wasting one on that thing. It was a little scare, and the mouse got spooked and scurried off.
So it's a mouse. What about next time? I know Caleb is trying to reassure me, but his explanation does nothing to soothe my unease. It's because my concerns have never been about a single unannounced departure. Bullets run out eventually, and guns are worn down with every shot. What if it breaks one day? Will you dismantle it and replace the worn parts? It'll be like what you did with the toy gun. A nervous tension seems to pluck at invisible strings in the air. I shift my gaze to meet Caleb's eyes in the mirror.
If rust sets in, it'll be polished and repainted. And if it's too damaged to be repaired, we'll replace it, as long as it's still my gun.
Aww. The dangerous-looking gun obediently spins in Caleb's hand as he ejects the magazine and flexes his fingers. A bullet drifts out of the magazine and lands in my hand gently. The cold brass casing, bathed in the setting sun's fading light, briefly takes on a deceptively warm glow.
If you're worried about running out of bullets, keep one hidden deep within a pocket, or hold it tightly in your hand.
They're not the same. I wasn't expecting this to be animated. Okay. Oh, I'm so normal about him. The prolonged silence I can't read. Someone is making me distracted. The prolonged silence solidifies the air, and the interplay of light and shadows blurs the space between me and Caleb.
Are you worried you won't recognize this gun one day?
Oh, I think he's talking about himself here. Yes and no. My thoughts, tangled as if in a knot, flood my mind. After a long pause, I sigh and look up at Caleb in the mirror. Honestly, I'm not even sure what I'm worried about. You've become strong, much stronger than before, but the threats around you have never been so terrifying. The cold light illuminates Caleb's smooth right arm, and even the warm Steam can't bring any warmth to that biomimetic? I'm just gonna say bionic skin.
Only with strength can we confront these terrifying threats.
Aww. How do you know for sure that they won't grow along with your strength?
Do you miss the old Caleb? The one who wasn't so dangerous?
Oh, I'm gonna start crying. Oh no. I don't know what she's gonna say. Oh no. Oh no. I'm just scared these threats will take you away from me. Oh! Or maybe it's because you'll drift further away as you become too strong. My voice trails off. On hearing my response, Caleb seems to let out a sigh of relief. He walks over to me, takes my hand from the doorframe, and gently caresses it.
Whatever you're worried about, I only hear one thing. I don't want to be apart from Caleb.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty much what she's saying. Caleb leans down to look into my eyes.
Look at me.
Gladly. I'll look at you all day long.
When you're feeling uneasy, you have two options.
Oh, I'm gonna be saving all these lines, aren't I?
Either you run to me, or grab onto me.
Oh, that is so cute. Oh my god. Yep, we're just gonna save all those. Yep. Our hands are clasped tightly. Despite the bullet pressing painfully into them, neither of us want to let go. Run to him, face every challenge together, or pull him back before he drifts too far away from me. Once I grab onto you, you won't disappear again?
I won't.
Aww. As the steam clears, there's still some distance between Caleb and me in front of the mirror, but in its reflection, he's already holding me close. Perhaps he's already gave me the answer I wanted when he offered those choices. No matter how far apart we are at the moment, or how different his path is from mine. No matter how much of his former self remains. The Caleb in the mirror knows he hasn't strayed too far. Aww.
I've never forgotten why I picked up a gun in the first place.
Oh my god! He picked up a gun so that he could have a way to protect her. I bet you that is why he picked up and learned how to use a gun. I'm not crying, but I have a lump in my throat. Caleb comes up behind me, wraps his arm around my shoulders, and holds my dangling hands in his calloused grip. In the mirror, that familiar gaze blurs the boundaries of time for a transient moment. In the corner of the shelter, a young Caleb stands before me holding a soaked paper gun.
I won't lose! I have someone I must protect.
Oh, I'm saving that too! He's gotta protect her, and that's what keeps him going. The sun's reflection slowly sinks below the horizon and casts its final rays on the bookshelf in the corner. There lie two paper guns huddled together. That's where it ends? Aww. That was like very bittersweet. That was like short and bittersweet. I loved that card so much. He literally picks up a gun to protect her. I wanna hug him. So yeah, that was Deceptive Solitude. Caleb was Calebing as usual and was hiding the fact that, well, I guess he did tell her in the end, just in like his own special little way. Yeah, I loved that card. I'm very glad I got it with the promise. This is Caleb's first promise card! Like, baby boy's first promise card! If you like the video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to see more content from me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you want to get notified when I post a new video, go ahead and hit that bell icon. But yeah, with that being said, stay kind to one another. Okay, bye-bye!